Beach FM, locals talking to locals.
And he's very local. He's Johnny Best, the chair of the Paraparaumu Raumati Community Board. Good morning, Johnny.
Good morning, Nigel. How are you this morning?
I'm well. Anytime the sun's shining, I'm happy. Johnny, the same with you, no doubt. Now, it's the final day of the long-term plan submissions. The board's put in some, I should imagine, the Paraparaumu Raumati Community Board.
Yep, that submission will be going in there today, and I'll make sure it's there before 5 o'clock tonight.
Right. What's in it, Johnny, that you can tell us about?
We're submitting on the town centre projects and hopefully getting some funding allocated towards Raumati, because as you're aware, that project was deferred, I think, from 2012, and there's nothing really in the long-term plan until 2026. So we'd like to see some of the town centre funding sent down to Raumati. So
this is the one down, in Margaret Road area?
Yeah, and look, it's been noted in some of the documents that Council's already put out there regarding the long-term plan, that it's, because Paraparaumu is the largest sort of town in Kapiti, that it's difficult for the board to actually represent the views in the entire area, and Raumati may miss out on funding in favour of those projects there. So hopefully we'll get something happening down there.
Good. You say the town centre in Paraparaumu, you're talking about Coastlands area. You got something in there about that as well, have you?
What we've sort of, that budget, I understand, has been reduced, and right. What we're sort of saying that we should actually try and, rather than sort of spending it all in one area, some of the villages are missing out on the funding.
Okay, so that's gone into that. Anything else in the long-term plan submissions?
We're looking at the Raumati pool.
Yes.
At the moment, there's no funding in the long-term plan until 2026. But we're sort of hoping that Council can actually facilitate interested groups who are actually going to try and get funding from elsewhere.
Yes, I was talking to Ben Knight from the Kapiti Guardians, and they've got a very important concept there, a very interesting one, and of course it was in the paper, but they don't really need funding from the council, they just need permission, don't they?
They need permission, and council can sort of facilitate that and undertake a feasibility study to make sure that we can get a productive use for the building. Yeah. And of course, one of the other things that the board is actually asking is the council to sort of try and get some funding out of this regional development fund from central government.
Yes, well, Shane Jones has got a little bit of money there. We might be able to get a little bit of that, do you think?
Yeah, well, I'm certainly hoping so, and I understand on a per capita basis, if the funding was available like that, it's about $20 million per year for Kapiti, but whether we'll get $20 million a year is the question to be asked, I guess.
Yes, we might need all that for this development down there. I think it'd be a great tourist attraction, a great educational centre for our colleges and primary schools.
Yeah, no, it's an awesome concept.
Yeah, it is indeed. All right, so you're supporting that, and no doubt the Guardians have got something in the long-term plan for it as well. Now, the other concern is Bernie Randall, one of your board members, concerned about the bus stop at the railway station. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, well, I've asked the question, and we have not got an answer, or not an acceptable answer as far as I'm aware at this stage. There is Greater Wellington Regional Council is looking and working with NZTA to actually get a bus stop as close as possible to the railway station. So it's still work in progress with them, but it's a bit of a concern, and we're certainly keeping an eye on it.
Because the new buses take over in about July, isn't it?
It's the 15th of July,
yeah.
So it's and of course the 15th of July is going to come along pretty quickly.
Yes, it is indeed. So where is the Greater Wellington Regional Council anticipating putting up a bus stop if they can't use the existing one?
Well, they're working with NZTA, so and I'm not sure where they're actually looking at putting it. But all I've got is that they're stressing the need for it to be as close as possible to the railway station.
Yes.
For their customers. I mean, But it's a bit of a worry.
Because it's not only a bus stop, it has to be a stop where many buses can pull up, because they have several there at a time, don't they, going to different routes?
Yes, and it's something we're sort of asking the question for and making sure that we can try and get an answer.
Yeah.
Because the 15th of July is going to come along pretty quickly.
Yeah, and we need shelter for the customers there as well too, I suppose. You've got to think it's a fairly big job, isn't it?
It is, and I certainly hope they've got things sorted.
Well, we might ask Penny Gate all that, but I'll ask the Mayor, see if he's had any discussion about it as well later on. All right then, Johnny, well, thank you for your time today, and we'll get you next Monday. No doubt Anzac Day is going to be a big day for the board as well. You'll be laying a wreath there, will you?
Well, I'm certainly going to be there before the dawn anyway. We're at the dawn service.
Yes, always a nice service, that's for sure. All right, Johnny, thanks for your time this morning.
All right, great stuff. Thank you, Nigel.
Righto, Johnny Best.
106.3 Beach FM.